Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. Recently it has come to my attention that there are several radio controlled aeroplanes on the market that purport to be flyable by anybody regardless of experience. Now, I do have some experience with radio controlled aeroplanes. I was quite into them for a short period, 10 or so years ago, but I crashed them all. It was a very short, bitter and expensive experience, and I wished I could fly them, but I didn't have enough space and I didn't have enough talent. Having seen these, it got my interest going again. And having seen a couple of models for under £60 with everything that you need, I figured I ought to test them. So today I have got the Kootai, which is also known as a Kidi, Qidi, A560 bush plane. Now this is a high level wing trainer with big wheels, which is supposed to be able to take off and land in a very small distance and fly in a very small area. So I'm hoping it's going to be suitable to fly in the garden. Now, looking at this, we've got a wingspan of 512 millimeters. Yeah, okay. Takeoff weight of 94 grams. We've got 5-channel remote control. We've got a 6-axis gyroscope. That's what hopefully is going to keep it in level flight for beginner use. This comes in with 3 different settings for flight. Beginner setting, which is where the gyro basically controls everything. If you let go of the controls, it will level out and fly at a constant height. This allows you to fly it around the garden, apparently, without risk of crashing it, turning it over, accidentally doing a loop and things like that. So it makes it smooth, it makes it calm, it makes it controllable. Put it into the middle setting, and then you've still got the gyro helping you, but it allows you more turning angle and things like that, more banking angle. And then you've got the full 3D, which is where the gyro just lets you get on with it and you can do loop the loops and things like that. So we're going to see what happens and whether that is actually the case. We're going to open the box up first and see what's in here. This one, as I say, was under £60, including delivery and all charges, from Banggood. I've I've watched lots of reviews of this on the internet, but every review I've watched of it has been from people who fly radio controlled aeroplanes. And while that's great, it's so simple to fly, I think it would be good to see if it's actually as easy as they say. For while I may not be classed as a complete novice, a complete something, but not a complete novice, is it as easy as they make it out to be? Now here's the wing. You'll see on the wing here, we've got a servo mounted underneath there. That is for the ailerons. This is a full 4-channel, full function radio control plane. This will be able to do rolls as well as up and down and left and right. It's not just you've only got up and down or rudder control. This is a full function radio control. Nice big wheels there, which is going to be good, because this one, if it's as good as I hope it is, this will be my back garden flyer, and I'm hoping it's going to be able to take off from a picnic bench. And the reason I'm hoping it's going to be able to take off from a picnic bench is that's actually a brushless outrunner motor on the front of there, and that was the battery that's just fallen onto the floor. So you've got a brushless motor in there, which is going to give it lots of power for its size, and that should help with the short takeoffs. So we've got the main fuselage there. It's made of polystyrene, which is actually EPP, which is a type of polystyrene. I have had gliders years ago. My slope soaring gliders were made out of this, and I can attest that they actually take a beating quite well. And then in the event that you do stuff it hard enough to break it, you can usually just glue it back together. So that's a good sign. In here, we've got a battery, which is currently on the floor down there. We'll get that on charge in a minute. We've got a charger there, a spare prop, and a little screwdriver. We've got the landing gear. The wing needs to be attached, and then underneath here we have the controller. Now, you need to bear in mind, under 60 quid. Okay, so it's not a Spectrum or a Futaba or anything like that, but it has everything that you should need. You've got your throttle control there, that'll be your rudder control, that'll be your ailerons, and that'll be your elevator. And on the top here, you've got novice mode, and then the middle one's called gyro auxiliary mode, which is intermediate, and then at the back 3D stunt mode. So that's the one you put it into if you know what you're doing. I'm going to have it firmly in beginner mode. I just want to see if I can cruise it around the garden. I like scale. I like scale flight. I just want to fly it around so it looks kind of realistic. I don't really want to be prop hanging or anything daft like that. It has a number of other buttons as well. We'll work out what they do when we get to them. Oh, and that one there, that is my function key. Apparently, if you press that, you get a 1-button press stunt mode. So you fly it along, press that one, and it will do a barrel roll, or pull back on the stick and press that one, and it will do a loop-the-loop. We'll see if we get that far. We've got a 15-minute flight time on the battery. We'll see if we can keep it in the air for 15 minutes without it breaking. Let's get out to the garden and test it. We're at the airfield. There's a little bit of wind. You're not supposed to fly it in wind, but we'll give it a go anyway. You'll see, or hear at least, as I move it, this is twitching everywhere. That is the 6-axis gyro at work, changing the ailerons, rudder and elevator to try and keep it level. So hopefully that will stop me crashing. That beep goes off every minute to let you know a minute has gone past. It will fly for 15 minutes. I'm not going to be able to keep account of that, but we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. To arm the motor, press the... Wait for that to stop. To arm the motor, press the accelerator fully forwards and then fully back, and it's now armed. Check everything's working. Into the wind. Well, it's flying. I haven't crashed yet. Oh, that is pretty good. Turn, and then I take my hand off the sticks completely, and it just flies flat. This really is, so far, very easy. Let's slow it down a bit. Bit of a fly past. That's my first minute. I have got the landing gear on this, but to be honest, the grass is quite long. So I am going to belly flop it when I do land. Try not to fly into my own head. Bit more power there. A little bit of up trim. Ooh, he's quite a way away now. I'm actually almost relaxed. Usually, my experience with planes, powered ones, is they're in pieces by now and I'm collecting it. So for 53 quid, 53 pounds, let me remind you, 53 pounds, everything except for the AA batteries in the controller. Let's try to turn that way for a change. Yeah, it turns that way as well. Oh, gaining a little bit of height. I've got this on about 2/3 throttle, so it's flying nicely and true. I could probably go slower, but I'd have to use some elevator at the same time then. Well, I don't know how many minutes that was now. Up a bit, up a bit, up a bit. Keep it in the sky. Why I keep going so low? There's no need. Giving it a little bit of aileron trim because it's leaning to port, which is left if you're not of a nautical persuasion. Right, I'm going to bring it in and land it now. Got plenty of battery left, but I don't want to push my luck. And there we go, the perfect landing. Done a couple of little flights with it now, and I've got to say I'm really impressed. It flies level, it flies true. We've got maybe a 7 mile an hour wind, maybe even a little bit more with the gusts, and you're not supposed to fly it in the wind, certainly not if you're not used to flying it. But if you let go of all of the controls, even flying across the wind, this just stays level and true. It's an absolute delight. You can slow it right down. Bringing it into land, you'll have seen I've tumbled it as it's come in because it's hitting long grass, but it really doesn't matter. There's not a mark on it. And for 53 quid, I don't know what else you're going to get that's going to be this much fun. Let's get back into the workshop and have a closer look. So we're back after flying it around the field this morning. What can I tell you about it? It is as easy to fly as I hoped it would be, if not a little bit easier. It is bonkers how easy this is. It just, the control, leaving it on the beginner setting, which I did today, have no intention to take it off that setting until I've got more used to this. With that beginner control, it just gives you the confidence because every time you let go of the sticks, it goes back into level flight. It's instinctive, it doesn't tip too much over. The only thing that you would struggle with if you've never used a radio controlled model before is the same as with a car, with a plane, with anything. When you're flying away from yourself, left is left, right is right. When you're flying back towards yourself, right is left, left is right. If you've used a car, you'll be used to that. It won't be an issue. If you've used the car, you can just pick one of these up, throw it in the air, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to fly it around, land it without an issue. It was £53. I've got to keep saying that because it's a bonkers bargain. It's a direct drive, brushless motor, nothing to break. I mean, I thought I was going to at least break a propeller today. A couple of them were on the video, but I've landed it with, in inverted commas, into long grass several times today. And every time it's flipped over because the wheels just can't cope with grass that long. But there is not a mark anywhere on this plane. The other plane I flew today was the Spitfire, which was £59. If you're an absolute beginner and you just want something slow and easy, that one is the one to get. Okay, it is slow, it is easy, it will give you all the confidence in the world. £53, you're in the air and flying. Within a short while, you're going to want a little bit more performance, a little bit more speed, maybe a little bit more scale. And if you just want a Spitfire anyway, get that one. After 5 minutes of, ooh, you'll be doing fine. Or do what I did, buy both. They are so cheap. £59 on Banggood, £53 on Banggood. Like and subscribe to the channel. We've got other things coming up very soon. I've got a helicopter arriving this week, a real helicopter, not a pretend with coaxials and all that stuff. A helicopter that looks like a helicopter and flies like a helicopter. I think that was under £60 as well. Absolute beginner. And I've got an articulated lorry that you are not going to believe that's just over 100 quid. A proper articulated lorry with so many features on it, I can't even count them. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all again next time. Goodbye.